Cyberpunk 2 will not be coming out anytime soon. What's up guys, so today I want to talk about Cyberpunk 2 and the state of its development. So about a week ago, CDPR had their earnings call and there we learned officially that Cyberpunk 2 would not be coming out before 2028. Now of course we all knew this game wasn't going to be coming out anytime soon. 2028, even 2029, this game most likely would not be coming out, but I guess it's nice to have official confirmation. And I mean, this makes complete sense. The Witcher 4 is CDPR's next game. I believe pre-production for the game started in 2022 with full-scale development starting sometime last year. And with the scale of the Witcher games, especially with The Witcher 4, this game is not going to be coming out for a very long time. If full-scale development started in 2024, I'll give them 4 years, right? 4 years for the least amount of time they would need to release The Witcher 4. For a game like this, I would not put it past them to need 5 or 6 years even, making Cyberpunk 2 probably not coming out for a very long time. Now it is worth saying, of course, Cyberpunk 2 is being worked on by a whole separate studio. They opened a new studio in Boston, so that's going to be a whole separate team dedicated to Cyberpunk 2. I also saw that CDPR has like this chart. They show all the developers, or I guess the amount of people working on certain projects, whether they be known to the public or not. So we know Cyberpunk 2 has about 135 developers working on it. The game is still in pre-production, and having 135 people working on it in that stage, I'd say is pretty good. So I guess looking at it positively, right, the positive side of things, they are two separate development teams, but the majority of CDPR will be working on The Witcher 4. But again, they're separate teams, so the games can be worked on at the same time. So I would say we don't have to wait a whole 6-7 years for Cyberpunk 2 to come out because they're worked on by separate teams. If The Witcher 4 would have come out in 2028, 2029, Cyberpunk 2 probably wouldn't come out until 2030, 2031. Because remember, the game is still in pre-production and CDPR's next game is The Witcher 4, so that'll be their main focus. Full-scale development for Cyberpunk 2, I wouldn't put it past them to have it start sometime next year. If not, then I think definitely 2027. Because I do think with the amount of people they have working on the game right now, about 135 people, they definitely could start something, right? I mean, pre-production, they started something, right? Like the concepts and all that. But I think they could actually start full-scale development with that amount of people. So full-scale development started sometime next year, then the game could definitely come out by 2030, 2031. I guess we could just all take some comfort in knowing that Cyberpunk 2, we won't have to wait for that game for like 10 years because they're working on The Witcher 4. I'm actually really glad they opened a new studio to focus specifically on Cyberpunk 2, even if they can't have everybody working on it, because we've really gone from a time where developers could work on a couple different games at a time and have those games released not too far apart. Seeing CDPR being able to do this is, I think, a really good thing. Now, something I do want to bring up that could have some effect on the development time of Cyberpunk 2 is their new engine, right? They're using Unreal Engine 5 instead of their Red engine. So Unreal Engine 5 is supposed to speed up the development process for a lot of games, I've heard, but the problem is that Unreal Engine 5 seems to be problematic for many developers. Apparently it's also supposed to be easy to use, but it doesn't really seem that way because a lot of developers don't really seem to get it right. Don't get me wrong, there are a lot of developers, a lot of games that have got it right, but there are a lot that have gotten it wrong also. The main issue lies with optimization, really. Cyberpunk 2 is going to be such a big game, right? Cyberpunk 2077, already a big game. Cyberpunk 2, I'm sure they're going to go bigger and better. This game needs to be optimized from the very beginning, right? I know it wasn't necessarily CDPR's fault, the mess that was Cyberpunk 2077 at launch, but I think it's still worth noting and remembering. I just hope for the sake of them and us as consumers that shareholders and other people who have a say, and not necessarily say, but have a hand in the game and I guess CDPR, I hope they know that they cannot just rush this game out like last time. Hope they see that when they're given time, the game will come out as intended and they will make their money as they want to. Another issue that I have with Unreal Engine 5 that's not necessarily related to like the development time, but just more so the game itself, is the fact that Unreal Engine 5 almost has like this stock look to it, like many games have, like these demos and things that we see have. Like, you know, when you see something, you're like, oh, that's Unreal Engine 5. Like, I don't want Cyberpunk 2 to have that look to it, you know? They did such a good job with Cyberpunk 2077 and the way it looked and, you know, just the environment, the world and all that. I hope they're able to capture the essence of that again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about, really. Just a short little video. I should have made this a few days ago when this information came out, but I don't know, I guess I've been focused on too many other things dispatch. But as always, let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you guys like the video, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.